to our first of the standing committees over Zoom, which is a little bit weird, so please bear with me. I'm new enough to chairing the meetings without having to do them this way, so put your hand up if you know how to raise a hand within the Zoom. Use that, or put your hand up if you want to speak. Otherwise, welcome. A special welcome to our 3 community board members. We've got Jan Finlayson from Geraldine, we've got Anne Lemons from Pleasant Point, and Charles Scarborough from Temuka. Welcome to the meeting. Welcome to Wera. Nice to see you this morning. I'll call for any apologies. No, it looks like a pretty full house. Identification of any items of urgent business. No one's got anything to bring to the meeting, or any matters of a minor nature for discussion later? No, it takes a minute to look around you all. Declaration of conflicts of interest. So you will have all seen the agenda for today. Does anyone have would like to declare a conflict of interest? No. The chairperson's report. So since our last meeting on the 10th of March, I've chaired 3 tangata whenua steering group meetings, and those are progressing well, most recently looking at the Māori Purpose Zone. I think they seem to be moving along well. I attended the launch of the Salvation Army driver program, which is a really great thing for helping get people into work. Attended the Youth Initiative Subcommittee, have had a phone meeting with the Group Manager of Environmental Services, and attended annual plan and budget meetings just before lockdown hit, and since then everything via Zoom. So I move that my chairperson's report be accepted. Thanks. Sally, you second that? All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Confirmation of the minutes of the last meeting. Any points anyone would like to bring up from those minutes?
Happy to move.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy to someone to second? Thanks, Councillor Oliver. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. And we'll now move on to reports. 7.1, so that's page 11 in your agenda. This is relating to a request for a private plan change 22 for an area out on Washdyke Flat Road. It's a fairly hefty report at 120 pages, but I got to the end of it, changing the zone from rural to light industrial, and the report is really about whether or not we accept the application rather than give the whole thing the go ahead. So Tracy, Megan or Mark, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I'm happy to.
Yeah, I'll throw to Mark, yep.
Yeah, tēnā koutou everyone. So the private plan change request is made by Seadown Properties Limited. It seeks to rezone approximately 9.3 hectares of land just south of Washdyke Flat Road there. You will probably be familiar with the work site there. They want to rezone it from Rural 1 and Rural 2 to Industrial L, so that's our light industrial zone. The site's been identified in our growth management strategy as being suitable for industrial growth, so we're strategically on board with that. And our recommendation is that the private plan change request is accepted for notification. So that doesn't mean we're approving it. It just means that it goes into the Schedule 1 standard RMA process for plan changes, which of course includes submissions, further submissions, hearings, that type of thing. So happy to answer any questions there.
Anyone have any questions for Mark? Alan.
Mark, I'm just, one thing that just I thought about was the fact we've got major traffic issues at that bridge. I'm not sure whether you talk about this sort of thing at the moment, but that was just the first thing that came up with me was, should we not be actually future-proofing the access to State Highway 1 from from the Washdyke Flat Road, considering that we've got more future plans for more, potentially more commercial development down that road, and that's a strategic area between the city, existing town, and Washdyke that potentially is going to continue to infill. And I know that eventually the traffic having to do a major detour to get out of that area has to go up Lawton Street, is it, then turn right down onto State Highway 8 to get onto State Highway 1 so it can go south. I just wonder what sort of studies been done around that, and whether, I mean, the logical thing in my mind was that that road should be detoured around behind vehicle testing and linked directly onto the other road that goes to around to McCain's, because ultimately that's a major issue for vehicles getting out of that road and turning right. As anything coming out of Washdyke Flat Road and turning south is the major issue.
So I think they have included a traffic impact assessment with the application. I'm sure, is that right, Megan?
Yes, there's a traffic assessment impact report attached with the proposal.
Yeah, and also I understand the Land Transport Unit would have had an opportunity to review that. So it may be appropriate to refer that question to Andrew Dixon.
Yeah, no, that was just the one thing that, other than that, I'm happy for, you know, it looks good to me.
Yeah, okay.
Did you want to
answer the question about the traffic side of things? We do recognise that Washdyke Flat Road has constraints at times, particularly with the State Highway 1 traffic at peak times. The detour via Lawton Street through to the traffic signals at State Highway 8 and 1 is the way for the traffic to access that if they cannot or feel that they cannot get out of Washdyke Flat Road. Having said that, NZTA are looking at that whole intersection there, including Meadows Road, which is actually a far worse situation. The delays in Meadows Road are getting up to around about 5-6 minutes at times, so becoming unacceptable. One of the big issues is the Washdyke Bridge. It's only 3 lanes, and if we put traffic signals in at Meadows Road, for instance, you do need to actually need a 4-lane bridge to make an efficient traffic signals. So that is a bit of a constraint at this stage. But yeah, it is being considered. But it was always planned as part of the Timaru transportation strategy that Washdyke Flat Road would actually, in the future, maybe become left in, left out only, and then traffic would have to go via Lawton Street on State Highway 8.
Thanks, Andrew. Any further discussion on that, or any other points within that report?
I guess one other thing is I've had a shop in Washdyke at one point and got flooded out twice. There's been considerable works done with the stock bank, I believe, to safe-proof that from flooding. Is that right? It would be.
Yeah, so the stop bank there has been recently upgraded, I think, to a 1 in 500 year event. The application did include a letter from Environment Canterbury. They're saying that there's minimal chance of a breach of that stop bank affecting the site. So it looks like it's, you know, should be okay from a flood hazard point of view.
No other discussion around that? Thanks, Mark, Megan, Andrew. So I'm happy to move that the whole of the private plan change request is accepted and that is notified in accordance with clause 22. Happy to move. Someone happy to second that? Thanks, Mayor Bowen. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye. And that brings our first Zoom Environmental Services Committee meeting to a close, unless there are any matters of a minor nature. Nothing? All right, bring the meeting to a close. Thank you very much.